Hello and welcome to KUSA. I'm Frank Benjamin.
I'm Pauline Revere.
I'm Madison James.
I'm Juan Adams.
I'm George Kingston III.
And I'm Patricia Henry, broadcasting live from Independence, Indiana.
We bring you the latest news,
declarations.
Coming up on today's broadcast, the giant Dodgers controversy, the budget crisis, and more. But first to Frank Benjamin with the lowdown on the rising price of gas.
Thanks, Pauline. With regards to gas prices, the optimists remain speechless. According to AAA, the current national average per gallon is $3.74. Experts claim that the spike in gas prices could very well exceed the all-time limit of $4.11 per gallon set back in 2008. Over the past couple of weeks, gas prices in Oklahoma have risen 23 cents per gallon. Constant problems involving the unrest in the Middle East continue to plague the pumps. In addition to this, February brought with it the Libya bombings, which halted daily exports of 1.5 million barrels. Oil speculators didn't miss a beat to raise prices. Citizen Helen Lopez reminisces, quote, "I remember when I was a kid, it was 23 cents a gallon," unquote. Hope for sub-dollar gas prices seems to remain a specter of nostalgia for citizens like Helen Lopez. As for the president, it seems as though we just need to get used to paying more for this bubbling crude.
Oil, that is.
Black gold, Texas tea.
And here's Pauline Revere with a Christian worldview bringing us the particulars on penetrating Planned Parenthood's profit.
Thanks, Frank. Planned Parenthood's $1 billion budget is now in jeopardy as Congress disputes if it should cut federal funding to the institute. After government shutdown was opposed in Congress, a compromise was established which prevents Washington, D.C. from using federal funds to provide abortions for women. Now, opponents argue that the issue here is about the services that Planned Parenthood provides, such as cancer screenings, birth control, etc. However, Planned Parenthood should not be funded because of its illegal use of abortion federal funds and because of the immoral practice of abortion itself. Psalm 139, 14 through 15 says, "For you, the Lord, created my innermost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made."
Thanks, Pauline. So, all men are created equal, except for babies?
That reminds me of a quote Ronald Reagan once said, quote, "I've noticed that everyone who's for abortion has already been born," unquote.
Well, at this time, I'd like to recognize our sponsors over at the Space Store. Be sure to stop by and check out the Space Helium, the laptop that's lighter than air. This is KUSA, broadcasting live from Independence, Indiana. We'll be right back after this.
With technology advancing as rapidly as it is, here at the Space Store, we decided to construct a laptop using helium-based computer chip technology.
It's the smallest big project. Or is it the biggest small project? The result is a laptop so light and so thin that it actually floats on air.
Floats on air.
Wait, that's a helium balloon and a laptop, not a helium laptop.
Well, that's version 1.0. This is version 2.0.
I think I can see it.
Look, it's floating away. Come back.
I think I'm waiting for version 3.0.
Spacebook is recommended by 9 out of 10 astronauts. Just call 1-800-SPACEBOOK.
Wait, that's too many numbers.
No, that's okay. They're letters. Just call 1-800-SPACEBOOK. That's 1-800-SPACEBOOK to get yours today and watch your money float away. This is KUSA from Independence, Indiana, and now to George Kingston III with the international news.
Thanks, Pauline R. While the golden age of pirates, as depicted in movies and literature, may have passed, our sources indicate that piracy is at an all-time high. For just the first 3 months of 2011, there were 142 incidents of piracy. Of these, 97 of these incidents happened off the coast of Somalia. Because Somalia has virtually no functioning government, there is little anyone can do to crack down on the pirates, and there seems to be no end in sight to the piracy problem. But these aren't your stereotypical hook-handed, parrot-toting pirates seeking treasure on remote Caribbean islands. Already, these pirates have killed 7 people, including 4 Americans in 2011, and the numbers continue to rise. The most important thing we can gather from this is that, unless you want some real adventure, don't set sail anywhere near Somalia.
Thanks, George. Well, those pirates will certainly end up in Davy Jones' locker.
Aye, aye, sir. And now to Madison James with the featured declaration.
Thank you, Frank. This caring kid is contributing to the community. 10-year-old David Sitter is doing his own part to change the lives of impoverished children around the world.
This fourth grader from Midland, Texas, started a fundraiser for a nonprofit organization called Smile Train, selling t-shirts for $10 and donating proceeds. Every day, thousands of children are born with cleft palates. These debilitations prevent them from going to school or leading ordinary lives. Many are even murdered soon after their birth for their defect. However, Smile Train and 10-year-old David Sitter are attempting to change this by raising funds and performing free surgeries. After one of these life-changing operations, those involved are able to eat, talk, and breathe normally and are no longer ridiculed. David states that his reason for helping children is so they can go to school, have a job, and get married. His goal is to serve the community by raising at least $250, the cost for one of these life-changing surgeries.
Thanks, Madison. Now that's a kid who cares.
Well, after these messages, we'll hear about Dodger dudes who generate giant controversy. But for now, this is KUSA. We'll be right back.
As global positioning systems become more advanced, we've combined all the best GPS characteristics to create the Global Omnipresent Manipulative Positioning Automatic System, or better known as the GUMPUS, complete with a variety of celebrity voices, including Justin Bieber. Baby, 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 go, oh baby, 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 no! President Obama.
Change lanes. Keep left. Keep left. Left.
Johnny Cash.
Continue on to the roundabout. Oh, I fell into a burning ring of fire. Round, round, round.
Wait, where do I exit?
Darth Vader.
You have reached your destination.
Well, it took you long enough. I can't wait to turn you off.
I'll be back.
Get the GUMPUS or get lost.
That would have been nice to have on my midnight ride. Okay, well, welcome back to KUSA, and now to Juan Adams for a local sports story.
Thanks, Colleen. As baseball season is starting, no one would have thought that violence would have come with it. At opening day at Dodger Stadium, a Giants fan, Brian Stowe, was beaten by two LA Dodger fans, resulting in brain damage for the victim. This, of course, has just added to the hatefulness of the already hateful rivalry between these two teams. The criminals ran away from the scene immediately and have not been caught yet, but there is a $150,000 reward for the case. The Los Angeles Police Department overall made 22 arrests that day, and they report that in future games they will have more officers on duty at the game. Hopefully, this increased police effort with cooperation from the city will allow baseball fans to view baseball safely. We can just pray that this poor Giants fan has a fast recovery.
Thank you, Juan. Does that mean that freedom of speech ends when you enter Dodger Stadium?
I guess so. And now to Patricia Henry for the Budget, Blues, and Bliss.
Thanks, Frank. Last week, the question on the tip of the American people's tongue was, is the government going to shut down or not? But the battle Congress experiences is not only one about money, but about political power. The voters asked for compromise over confrontation, and that's ultimately what their government gave them. However, that budget compromise created last week was probably only Act 1 in a three-part budget drama. Act 2 and 3 will occur in the spring and fall, about raising the ceiling on federal debt and determining the federal budget for 2012. The Bible tells us to be good stewards of our money and to repay any debts that we owe. Compromise may have saved our government from shutting down, but there's still a long road ahead.
And boy, is that a long road. Thanks, Patricia. Ever felt like suing someone for all the money in the world? Well, now it's not as unrealistic as it once seemed. File-sharing website LimeWire is being sued by 13 record companies, including Warner Brothers, Virgin, Motown, and Atlantic, for up to $75 trillion. That's trillion with a T. Federal Judge Kimba Wood of the Southern District of New York questioned the record company's actions. Quote, as defendants note, plaintiffs are suggesting an award that is more money than the entire music industry has made since Edison's invention of the phonograph in 1877.
Thanks, Frank. What a lot of litigious loose cannons.
And now, a word from our sponsors. This is KUSA. Stay tuned.
wishy wishy washy wishy washy wishy washy wishy washy wishy washy wishy washy wishy washy.
In the Congress, the changing Congress, the lying stops tonight. With the color, the Congress color, the zap will set them right. We need more honesty.
Are you tired of Congress lying to you? Then we have the eyebrow nap for you. Here's how it works. Each Congress member is required to wear the Congress collar. And when you catch them telling a congressional whopper, you can remotely zap them using the iShock eyebrow nap.
Ever since I was elected, I have loved the people. And because I love the people, there will be no more taxes. Actually, there will be some taxes. Okay, fine! There will be a lot! And I mean a lot of taxes.
No actual Congress members were harmed in making this work.
Well, Congress will be shocked when that's released. Okay, we are KUSA from Independence, Indiana, where the news is free, so you can be. Not all was aloha in Honolulu, Hawaii this week. Recently, 2 bumbling robbers entered a Zales jewelry store in Oahu, armed with a hammer and a gun. Now, unfortunately for the robbers, and unfortunately for the store, the jewelry displays are made of reinforced glass, making them impossible to shatter. After the glass refused to budge from any smacks, shots, and kicks from the robbers, they took off, empty-handed, caught on tape, and nationally humiliated. The Honolulu police are now in investigation of the identities of these would-be robbers.
Ololea ole. Excuse me? That was epic fail in Hawaiian.
Wow. Well, okay. Anyways, here is George Kingston III with a very tall tale.
Thanks, Pauline. Last week, over 6,000 children participated in building a Lego tower in Brazil. At 102 feet tall, it is reportedly the tallest Lego tower ever built. It beat out the previous record holder from Chile, whose Lego skyscraper stood a mere 101 feet tall. All in all, the tower in Brazil was made from over 500,000 Lego bricks and was completed in 5 days. Don't try this at home, though. Lego needed several of their experts to oversee construction to make sure that the tower was built properly. Because the record was set by a margin of just 1 foot, it is only a matter of time before this record is topped again.
Thanks, George. Wow, who wants to help me build a Lego tower that's 103 feet tall?
Let's go on to our next story.
Thanks, Madison. The newest addition to the iTunes Store is an app that's actually good for your health. This new application called Meal Snack, created by Daily Burn, takes a picture of your food and calculates the amount of calories your meal contains. After the app takes a picture of your food, it sends you immediate, comprehensive results of your diet, and it allows you to keep a food journal to track your daily intake of proteins, fats, carbs, vitamins, and ultimately, calories.
Thanks, Patricia. If only you could edit the calorie count, or burn them at the speed of our next story. Juan?
Thanks, Madison. What is as fast as the speed of light?
Superman!
No. It's IBM's new light-driven silicon microchip. What this means is that the computation is still done by electrons moving through semiconductors, but the interconnects, which are the lines which move information around the chip, now use light instead of electricity. Did you follow that? Pretty much they use lasers focused on receivers to transmit information. Okay, this might not be as fast as the speed of light overall, but it is 1,000 times faster than our fastest systems today, uses less power, and avoids overheating. IBM has already made a working prototype and hopes to use this chip in a supercomputer by 2018. This will all help us get more light in our lives.
Thank you, Juan. And now to Madison James with our final story.
A woman in Connecticut recently received a postcard from Greece, sent in 1965. The 46-year-old Easter greeting possessed no postage, no address, and no zip code. Labeled only with the name Vasilia Mazzotta, the postcard came from the recipient's late grandmother. U.S. Postal Services has no idea how the postcard arrived, as there is no evidence of it in the mail stream. Mazzotta testified that the postcard touched her emotionally, calling it an incredible experience.
Thanks, Madison. I guess we went from snail mail to fail mail.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us here at KUSA, where we bring you the latest local and national declarations. I'm Pauline Revere.
I'm Patricia Henry.
I'm George Kingston III.
I'm Juan Adams.
I'm Madison James.
And I am Frank Benjamin, here with KUSA.
USA.